there was really a lack of volume. There's still, as you said, it's not that much volume in the marketplace. And we did see a flight to kind of safety over the last 4 weeks on our platform with consumers going more into USDC. But then over the weekend, we saw this shift kind of start to happen where they were getting out of USDC and buying into Shiba, some of the meme coins, as you guys pointed out, Shiba and Doge, but then back into, Bitcoin a bit more, Ethereum, but then Solana and Avalanche were two big ones that people started to buy back into. I still think it's light volume. I think the retail consumers are starting to get back in. But I wish I had that answer like you do. Like, I wish I had this, this magic bullet.
Do you think the USDC trade, do you think that was more about staking and more about kind of what was going on in DeFi rather than a flight to safety? Do you think that there could have been some aspect to that? In other words, they're trying to get yields elsewhere?
I believe there's a little of that, but I saw the same thing happen 20 years ago. My time at E-Trade, building that online broker when we had really volatile markets and down markets in 2001. What you saw was people just take a pause and say, okay, I'm just going to hold in dollars back then. Obviously, there was no USDC, dollars, and just wait it out and then decide when they wanted to, come back into the market. So we started to see that. I do think it's a little bit, but, to get the yield on the USDC, but it is also like, do I really want to take the risk right now on some of these assets? A risk off trade, right? We're seeing it across all markets. It's been a risk off trade. Maybe now we flushed all that out. Maybe Meta was the downside, was where we hit the bottom. And now we're going to rise from there. I've spoken to a lot of folks. Obviously, we're close to Pete and John Nigerian at Market Rebellion and Tom Lee at Fundstrat. And maybe we did hit a little bit of a bottom and we're going to go up from here.
It's interesting you say, because looking at Voyager Digital right now, you guys are down about 20% for the month, but in the last couple of days, say 5 days, you guys are up 15%. Are you guys kind of moving along with the crypto markets?
It's interesting. We see our stock also trades in Germany on the Frankfurt exchange, and we see it up 6 or 7% to start the day overnight. So we do, unfortunately, trade with the crypto markets. But as I've said so many times, volatility is key for us. When there's volatility, we see good volume. Our assets continue to grow on our platform. So even though crypto assets are down, we're seeing more and more money come in. So our assets continue to grow. Based on AUM of retail consumers, I believe we're the third largest here in the States, just for U.S. customers. And so we're seeing more assets come in.
Very, very good friend of mine owns some shares. She bought it about 20. She's crying to me about, the losses that she's taken since. So, her big thing is she's like, what is Voyager doing to fix the stock? Even for short term, it's a big question. I'm sure your shareholders are asking. So if you could say bullet points, here's what we're going to do to fix for the time being, what do you think it's going to be?
Well, look, I always preach, patience on this because it is the stock market and you never know, when things go up and down. But that said, 2021, we grew a business from 40,000 funded accounts to over 1 million funded accounts. And we're probably about 1.1, 1.2 at this point in time. So it was scaling and growth, and you have to scale with that. 2022, people have already seen the first version of our debit card. It was used for the first time by our product manager. That's coming soon. Our dark mode, our desktop, more coins. We added, I think, a dozen more coins last week with another 18 of the coins on our platform that are transferability. 2022 is a year of product for us. We're coming hard. We hired an NFT group, so we're coming hard on product. So I would just, to your friend, little patience. These things will take time, but we're coming super hard with product in 22.
So speaking of products, the SEC is right now looking at high yield products that not just you guys offer, but also Celsius, Gemini. What would you say to the SEC? I know obviously, it's pending and what have you, but what would allay their concerns about whether or not these high yield products are safe to the consumer, really are not securities, they're not promising? What do you say to all of that?
Look, I think everybody's product is different, and I think there's more guys than what you mentioned. I think it's been reported, but I'm sure the other guys are all having conversations with the regulators as we do. I've been doing that for 25 years with regulators because I've been in the regulated business. What I would say is that one of the key components to any consumer is disclosure, and the people you're holding your assets with, what they're doing with the assets. There's a lot of complex products behind certain parties. We fully disclose everything about our assets. You can look at it on our public filings. So we feel really comfortable where we are. And I know that, this is new ground for the SEC. I know that they're looking at everything, and this is the way for them to understand the landscape. So, I think we're going to have good progress on that in this year.
So does this contrast with BlockFi? I mean, if you had to contrast it with BlockFi and the likes, I mean, is there anything they're not doing that they should be doing that you guys are doing?
Can't really comment on others because I don't know what they're doing. I'm not there. I know what we do, and I know the disclosure we put out there for everybody to see what we're doing. And by the way, we lost in our rewards program because you get, no matter what we do zero with the assets, you're getting rewards. We lost a lot of money. It's a marketing cost for us, and we lost close to $60 million on our rewards program in 2021.
So just turning back to the markets, we've been having a lot of, we broke key resistance at $40,000 now. So just looking at Bitcoin, what's your forecast? Are we out of the bear market or some more sideways volatility going forward?
What's been interesting is as we've been breaking through we were down, I think, at 33, 34 not that long ago, a week or 10 days ago, and we broke some resistance at 35 and 38, but we kind of sit there for a bit. So it's kind of, we break through and then we just static, pricing for a bit, and then we'll look to break through. I think we'll break through a little higher. I think we'll have a retreat a little bit, and then we'll break through higher even further after that. And thinking about it into the second quarter of the year, I think we're going to get significant uptick in the pricing, but it's going to be a little choppy until we get there.
End of year price target, Steve?
I was so wrong last year, but I still believe, I think for this year, we're definitely going into the six figures by the end of the year, probably higher.